Hey there guys, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and this is my review of Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 0. Fantastic result for the Arsenal tonight considering what happened at St Mary's against Southampton, which we won't brush on too much. I think we did have our fair share of depression from that game, but to respond with a win against Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, who have been playing some very good football in recent weeks, I think it's a really decent result tonight, and I'm left scratching my head as to why it wasn't more. But nonetheless, a 2-0 win, a convincing performance against this Bournemouth side. Really happy with that, and now we're top of the league for tonight at least until Leicester play Man City. And then we've got Newcastle coming up next, which should be another 3 points in the bag, but let's not take anything for granted like I'm continuously saying now, but we should be winning games like that. And with games like Stoke away on the horizon, which I'm really not looking forward to, it's important that we get 3 points in the bag in the games that we should be winning. We've got some very tough fixtures in the second half of the season. A lot of the big teams we play away, so it's important we get these points on the board when we have the opportunity to. So the game started off in a relatively good fashion, I'd say, for Bournemouth. They've had the run of the mill, I would say, in that opening 10-20 minutes. And there are a few changes from this Arsenal side, which maybe is the reason why it took us quite a while to gel and grow into this game. Callum Chambers coming in at defensive midfielder, who in my opinion, although it did take him a while to grow into the game and for him to be a bit more established and confident in himself, had an excellent performance in my opinion. It's good to know that we've got another outstanding defensive midfield option. Well, I say outstanding. It's good to know that we have at least another defensive midfield option in that position. I think he was better than Flamini was in the game against Southampton, which isn't really saying much, but it was good to see Chambers get a full 90 minutes under his belt. Similarly to players like Chamberlain, I think Chambers is someone that really does rely heavily on confidence, and if he gets a few more run-outs in the team, he should play against Newcastle again, in my opinion. And who's knows what's to come of him? We know that he's a very talented footballer, and he can offer us something in that defensive midfield department. He's different to the likes of Flamini and Coquelin in the way he plays. He's not a player that's going to be rash in the tackle. He's very calm, very committed, and he's very good at intercepting and reading the game. He's very good at passing as well, which is why I like to have an alternative like that in that position. He played really well tonight, in my opinion, coping with the threat that Bournemouth have got going up top. We also saw Gabriel coming in for Per Mertesacker, and in my opinion, Gabriel's just got to be starting continuously from here on in, because he is, I wouldn't say incredibly superior to Mertesacker, but I think he can form a better partnership with Koscielny than Mertesacker can at this moment in time. And there are passes in the game where you do feel that Mertesacker is a bit liable and there is a mistake in him. And that's not to discredit Mertesacker too much, because there are times when he's been fantastic for us this season, but he is of an age now where I think he needs a little bit of a rest. Gabriel needs to start taking his position, and we do have the foundations of an excellent partnership in Gabriel and Koscielny for years to come. As well as in the defensive department, we saw Kieran Gibbs come in for Nacho Monreal. Gibbs had a good performance, in my opinion, not too much that needs to be said about that. And up top, quite a big change, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming in for Joel Campbell. And Chamberlain had a big point to prove in this game. He has to earn his spot back off Joel Campbell, and I think he made a good case for himself tonight. Didn't have the best of starts to the game, but really grew into it, made some bursting runs going forward, and that's what you've got in terms of an alternative to someone like Joel Campbell. He's so good at running forward, so good at taking it past man, delivers a good ball into the box, and I thought he had a very established performance, and it's good to know that Chamberlain has got that potential. We just need to unearth it. He needs more time in the team, which I really think is vital to in terms of his development. The same goes with James. They just need more game time if we're going to really see the best of them, because we know how talented these English players are. But as well as that, it's a pretty much unchanged lineup, and the game, like I say, didn't start off in the best of fashion for us, because Bournemouth were having to run in the mill. They had a good couple of chances on goal early on, a good number of corners, and we didn't look overly convincing until we got our first goal through Gabriel, and surprise, surprise, a Mesut Ozil assist, a wonderfully weighted corner into the middle of the box, a wonderful header by Gabriel, and our set pieces just looking wonderful when Mesut Ozil takes them. They are so perfectly weighted onto the heads of players, and we should be scoring more goals from them in truth. But Gabriel certainly took advantage of this opportunity, placing it into the net past Boric, a powerful rising header. Really pleased with Gabriel to get his first goal, and a fantastic performance from him all round. Like I say, he should be starting even more from here on in. He is a fantastic asset to have within the squad, and I think it's really harsh that he's actually been kind of shadowed since that 5-1 morning away from home at Bayern Munich, which wasn't really his fault. So great to see him in the Arsenal fold tonight. He certainly earned that goal, his first goal for the Arsenal, and great to see it come in a game where we needed 3 points so desperately. Later on in the first half, we had a couple more chances, most notably through Theo Walcott. Ozil again being the provider, who really should have been putting these in the back of the net, in my opinion. Walcott really wasn't at the races today. He made some good runs. His runs are always fantastic, but he really does need to work on his finishing, because that's not overly established just yet. Giroud had a great chance on goal as well for a header, which he could have scored from a corner, but that went way over the bar. And heading out into that second half, it was more of the same from Arsenal. Bournemouth had about a 5-10 minute spell where they did look a little bit threatening, but not overly worrying in terms of an Arsenal point of view. Got our second goal from Mesut Ozil. Giroud involved in the build-up, who had a relatively quiet game, but A wonderful assist from him, and the trademark that he seems to do in terms of build up with that little flick that he does every so often. And it's wonderful to see him execute that to perfection. It's such a handy thing to have in his locker when he can provide something like that. He did it in the exact same way when Jack Wilshere scored that wonder goal a couple of years ago, and providing it again to this time Mesut Ozil, who placed it in the back of the net past Boruc to make it 2-0 to the Arsenal. And we did have more chance from there on in. We could have won this game about 4 or 5-0. Cech, of course, is now the all-time Premier League clean sheet record, so that's massive positive we can take from this game. He must be so confident. We've got Bournemouth, we've got Newcastle next, should I say. We just played Bournemouth, of course, and I expect another 3 points there. But get your thoughts on the game in the comments box below. Please do like this video if you have enjoyed it. How far can the Arsenal go this season in terms of winning the league? And as always, I'll speak to you very soon, guys.